So we're back with another tier list. This one is going to be on the best power forwards in the 2K21 Myteam. So if you guys are excited, smash the like button down below, as well as if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Anyway, I think I might have said subscribe twice. Either way, we do have some previous tier lists on the channel already. Yesterday, we dropped both the tall PGs tier list and the small forwards tier list as well. We've also done, the shooting guards and point guards and dark matters. All of those will be linked down below if you want to check them out. Have some fun and see where we rank and everything. And this one, obviously, it's the power forwards. And tomorrow, you guys will see the centers tier list along with whatever else content we get tomorrow. It's going to be a fun one. So, without further ado, let's start it with all the guys that we have in our hard pass tier. It's a bit of a rough tier list this time, man. We got a lot of really good cards, so I had to be a little picky with some of the guys that I got out here. So here are our hard pass tiers with the new Diamond Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. Just not really a fan of this card. I gave him a shot. But his defense and finishing are pretty good, but I don't know. I think at this point, everybody can kind of dunk a little bit. Everybody can play some defense, and this one just wasn't my thing, and he just has terrible shooting. It's just not worth it for me personally. Thaddeus Young, I absolutely love this card. I recommend him every single weekend in Limited, but if I'm being honest, this Thad Young card just, yeah, he ain't it. So, I mean, if we're talking about the general, like, using him as a power forward, definitely just not really too worth it, but I think overall, as like a limited guy just to have fun with, he is definitely a really good card that you should have some fun with. Rondae Hollis-Jefferson just wasn't really impressed when I used him. Got him for some XP, but just wasn't really my thing. Dennis Rodman is just a defender that doesn't really do anything else and has a pretty terrible jumper every single year. 2K's got to find a way to make Dennis fun. They did it this year with the wonderful Dirk Nowitzki, and I think we just need to do it again with somebody like our man Dennis Rodman here. Chuma Okeke was a card I was actually pretty excited about, but just kind of ended up disappointing me. Wasn't really all that amazing. Whenever I use him, I think he's got a jump shot 12, so he's kind of like a small forward Draymond Green, but and Oscar Crochet, again, same thing. I think just a little bit taller. Just not really a fan. So now we have a new tier, this one being the still usable tier. I thought it was, I don't know, these are guys I'm hard passing on, and these are guys that, you could still convince me to use them if you wanted to. And the first off in here is Dark Matter Kevin Garnett. I don't love the fact that he has the quick timing on set shot 14, but it is a set shot that I like. I think it's fun. I think you could actually use it, and there's some play in it. But overall, with Kevin Garnett, he's just not really all that cheesy or really all that fun, so I'm just not too excited about him. Next up is Dark Matter Shawn Kemp, a card that they just never decided to really make good with the dribbling moves. They made so many people cheesy. Like, we have Vlade Divac now who can play point guard and has the ability to curry slide, I guess weight-wise, just not actually having the Pro 2. Has a shifty dribble style, but then we couldn't get a Shawn Kemp who had better than normal dribbling. That doesn't make sense to me. Next up is a card that they actually did boost up a little bit, so if you're confused as to why Kenny Walker is up here into the still usable tier and not in the hard pass, go and actually check the upgrades that they did to him. They gave him the Klay Thompson base with the Aaron Gordon upper. He's got the very quick timing on that. He had the quick dribble style, and he can curry slide now. So Kenny Walker did get a big upgrade. It just so happens that it was after all of us used the card for an XP challenge, most likely. So that is a little bit annoying, but he's actually pretty decent. He's basically just a Klay Thompson that can play the power forward, small forward, which isn't too bad. Next up is Keldon Johnson, who I think is, again, a pretty good card, but not one that I'm really getting all too excited about. Yeah, he's fun. Yeah, he can be cool, but he doesn't really have like curry slide or anything like that. He's just kind of there. Yeah, he was fun. Nice one of those limited time events, which was cool. Nice jumper, basically like a taller Ken Bazemore, which is still pretty good. Next up is Diamond Jeff Green. Jeff Green is actually one of those guys who I was really excited about getting a new diamond. And when this one came out, I think it was actually pretty solid. All around good defender. He can slash to the basket well. He can still shoot with a nice jumper and jump shot 50. But just has the slasher dribble style, which I don't love. And never really was given, range and things like that to be able to really be a killer. So that kind of hurt him at least a little bit to me. Wish it was a little bit better, but there's only so much that you can do. So hopefully we get like a pink diamond, like an opal Jeff Green eventually, that can boost up this one a little bit, because I would love to have a better Jeff Green because of how much I loved his emerald. Next up is the wonderful Amethyst Derrick Jones Jr., who is, if I'm being honest, a pretty good card, a pretty fun card, but he was just an Amethyst. I mean, Didn't really get a lot of badges on him, if I'm being honest, with this mystery one. I think he was good. I think he was fun, and he did what you would expect him to do, but wasn't really anything other than that. He was just a pretty all-around good aim at this small forward, power forward, but he's undersized, like 6'6", so you definitely kind of got to run with the small forward instead. And last but not least is Bobby Jones, who just sadly has a jumper that I absolutely hate in Jump Shot 4. It's just not one that I really ever want to use anymore. I tried it on George Mikan, and I realized that it is a jumper that I kind of hate now. And the fact that they didn't really give him anything else in there. You know, he can't curry slide or do anything cheesy when it comes to dribbling moves. So overall, I've kind of just got over Bobby Jones. And I never really was a fan of his pink diamond either when he first came out. Just, yeah, it wasn't great. Anyway, we're starting off our wonderful, pretty damn solids here, where we have the Galaxy Opal Xavier McDaniel, the Jump Shot 40 base card that is looking just absolutely amazing. A card that I kind of love, if I'm being honest. It's just all around a really, really good. Xavier McDaniel always is going to be great with Jump Shot 40, all around great defense, and just being a good card all around. It's just super, super nice, super fun, and with somebody that I'm always a fan of. And same thing kind of goes with Shane Battier. These guys are kind of exactly the same. The only thing that's actually a bit different between these two cards is the fact that I think, if I'm not mistaken, Shane Battier is an inch shorter than Xavier McDaniel, and Xavier McDaniel I think has just like slightly worse stats-wise, like just like here and there a little bit different. So I think overall it's not too bad, and they're basically the same card, 3&D kind of guys that are actually real fun to use. Next up is Galaxy Opal Sadiq Bey, who is a wonderful, just taller Jason Richardson. We never really got a upgrade to Jason Richardson, but the closest that we've got is this Sadiq Bey, and I think he's actually a pretty solid card if that's what you're looking for. You know, all around pretty solid Opal. We've done a gameplay on it if you really want to check out what he's looking like, but I'm a fan, and I think he's actually pretty solid. He's a super slept-on card. Nobody really tries him out, but he's pretty fun. Next up is Pink Diamond Miles Bridges, who if you ever really wanted to use a budget version of, you know, Zion Williamson for whatever reason, Miles Bridges your guy. 6'6", got jump shot 86, which is pretty nice. Again, did a gameplay on this card, and I think he was actually really fun. It was actually pretty cool to use him, but I don't see too many people being excited about him. But if you wanted to relive that wonderful 2K20 Diamond love, yeah, this Pink Diamond does exactly that. Next up is the wonderful Diamond LaMelo Ball. I still think it's just an absolutely insane card, and it's just because, man, I think it's jump shot 82 or 81, whatever that is, on LaMelo Ball is actually super, super solid, and it's just so fun to use. I don't know what it is, but it's just one that I like, man. I love it. I love it. And this LaMelo Ball can just use it perfectly. It's the same jumper that our wonderful friend Mel Daniels has, and again, I just think it is absolutely money. It just does a lot of things really well for you all around. Plus, LaMelo, I think being so cheesy can really help, but at this point, with a lot of people running some double centers lineups, I think that that's kind of killing everything that you used to be able to love about LaMelo Ball at this time. Next up, it might be a bit of a shocker, but it's Invincible Tim Duncan, and that's just because I absolutely just hate his jumper. I've never really liked it, and yeah, this one's, it's kind of just showing it again. It's just not something that I'm really a fan of or I really like. Maybe you could kind of have some fun with it and mess around with Timmy D if you really wanted to, but like, yeah, he's good because he has all of these, you know, crazy stats, being an invincible card. You know, they're all 99s. He's got like 60 Hall of Fame badges, but he's just not a card that I'm really too excited about at all, to be honest. And it's just meh, you know. That's how I feel about this Tim Duncan. Just meh. Wasn't really excited when he came out, and I'm not really excited now. Next up is Pink Diamond Joe Smith. Another fun card that I think is actually pretty solid, but doesn't really get a lot of hype. Most of the cards actually in the mystery set didn't really get a lot of hype. But Joe Smith is a 6'10" guy with jump shot 22 on very quick, and he can curry slide. And it's just a fun all-around card if you're looking for somebody who can slash and play really good defense, but still you know, hit some threes with range and all that sort of stuff. Next up is the Diamond Jaden McDaniels, one of these nice little rewind cards that we got throughout Season 7 Full Throttle. And Jaden McDaniels is slapped on. Let me tell you that. This card is actually kind of insane. But again, wasn't really one that got a lot of hype just because, you know, Jackson Hayes was Curry Slide and stuff out there. But my man's is nice. I wish he didn't only have Hall of Fame clamps for defensive Hall of badges, but like it's still good. He's an amazing shooter. Jump shot 75, very quick, so he's basically just like a Penny Hardaway that's 2 inches taller and can play that power forward. Really fun card all around. Again, just not really a lot of hype to him. Next up, Pink Diamond Hakeem Warwick. I think same kind of thing. A card that didn't really get a lot of hype, but I think is super nice. Jump shot 19 is, again, a super underrated jumper, at least in my opinion, that I think not too many people are going out there and giving some love to. And is still just a great all-around defender and just fun card to use, especially for me. I just think he's a nice, fun card that just does everything all around. Next up is Galaxy of Blake Griffin, a card that I am not impressed with at all. I'm just not impressed with Blake Griffin. He just doesn't really do it for me. Yeah, he was supposed to be like this big, cheesy kind of power forward after everybody was hype about his, relatively hype about his Season 2 Ultimate Reward. But they gave him the Curry Slide and then didn't realize that he is too tall and too heavy to Curry Slide. So he can't on either gen, which just kind of kills, I think, all momentum. You just turn him into like a slashing setup shooter who has a decent jumper, but that I'm very quick. But yeah, I'm just not excited about Blake Griffin, and I haven't since he dropped. Next up is the wonderful Galaxy Opal Obi Toppin that we got for free from that nice little locker code. Love that they've been doing that. 2K, please continue every single year to do these kind of locker code, challenges, things like that where we vote for who we want to see. I think it's a great idea. It gets everybody involved, gets everybody talking, and it's actually an all-around really fun thing. But anyway, Obi Toppin, jump shot 75 player. Sadly, it is on quick, and he doesn't have the greatest of dribbling moves or the greatest of dribbling styles, which is why I threw Obi here at the pretty damn solid tier. But I think all around is still really fun and can still be pretty great if you know what you're doing. I just think he's better suited as a small forward at this point. Because, again, the double center lineup is getting a little crazy. And same thing goes with Zion Williamson, who I've said is just like a slightly better version of Miles Bridges, but they're both like 6'6" guys who are trying to play the power forward, and that's just never really a place that you want to get yourself, I guess, in for. It's just not amazing, at least. Anyway, next up is the wonderful Baby Demon tier. We're starting off wonderful with Poku. Man, this guy is amazing, and the only reason I think that this guy doesn't crack into the Demon tier is just because I'm not the greatest or biggest of fans of his, you know, wonderful little jump shot 30. It's that Scottie Pippen jumper, and it's just not amazing. It's not fun. It doesn't really. It's a little bit too slow, I think, to really be able to capitalize on anything. But he's a 7-foot small forward power forward, so I can't really hate it too much. He's the tallest, I think, small forward that you can run, aside from the new Vlade Divac, I think, which is always going to be pretty fun. And I think all around he's just super cheesy. He's basically like a small forward bull. Next up is the wonderful Galaxy Opal Aaron Gordon, a card that didn't get a lot of hype for the Spotlight Rewind, but I did make a gameplay on him, and it actually did pretty big. So I think he got a decent amount of hype. But Aaron Gordon still has one major flaw, and that's the fact that he doesn't come with Slithery Finisher. But you add that, and I promise you would open up the world. I don't know why, but Slithery Finisher is just one of those badges that you don't realize how much it matters on dunks until you don't have it. And boom, check out Aaron Gordon for that. His Pink Diamond didn't have Slithery. He just never dunked. But you add it to this one, and it fixes it greatly. Amazing on next gen as well because he comes with blinders, and I think it's just all around great card because I love the Aaron Gordon jumper on very quick. I think it's one of the best, most slept on jumpers like in the game because there's just, I don't know, nobody gets really excited about it, and I don't understand it. I love it, man. Next up, we got the wonderful Pink Diamond Robert Covington, who's like the essence of a wonderful 3-and-D guard, which you love to see. I just think he's a super fun card that can, you know, give you a lot of love, man. If you just are lacking on defense, throw in Robert Covington and you won't be anymore. Next up is a Galaxy Opal, or I said Galaxy Opal, Dark Matter Larry Johnson, who's just like another version of like Sadiq Bey, just slightly better. You boost up the stats, you have some fun with it, and he's cool, he's fun. Again, I'm not insanely excited about him, but it's still a great card. It sucks that cards like this are in Unlimited where we have to play like 60 games to get them. It's just not worth your time, man. Next up is the invincible Kevin Garnett, who obviously is just a lot better version of the Dark Matter that we have down there in the still usable section. I think he's a good card. Obviously, he has all 99. He has like 60 Hall of Fame badges. He finally has jump shot 17 or set shot 14 on very quick, which is always going to be great, and just a lot better of everything. But again, I'm just not really super excited about Kevin Garnett, and I just don't think he is like all that crazy, but he's still good. Next up is the wonderful Dark Matter Jerry Lucas, who is like another free version of Bill Russell that we can get. He's nice, I think 6'9" power forward that has the Ray Allen jumper on very quick. He can curry slide and has the Pro 3 behind the back. And he's actually pretty solid. I just recently actually went ahead and got myself this beautiful Jerry Lucas card. I actually think he is a super slept on kind of guy, because nobody was really excited about him or really, I think, grinded for him. But after picking him up, I can honestly say, if I didn't have Bill Russell, I do think Jerry Lucas would be making that power forward spot, which is wild because I hated his diamond. Next up is the wonderful Dark Matter Jason Tatum, who I've heard is a beautiful, beautiful card that a lot of people really like, which is going to be nice if we're being honest. You got to kind of love it. You know, you got to love it at least a little bit. I think he's got like jump shot 107 or something like that, which is pretty good. It's a really, really big green window jumper. I think on like, you know, the official ratings, it's pretty up there, which is always going to be great. You got to love that. And, I mean, he's got all-around ability when it comes to scoring and playing really good defense. But eventually, probably going to get an invincible Jason Tatum, which I think would be a demon tier kind of card, because I think this one has the slasher takeover. So if that few, like, nitty-gritty things get fixed, I think it's going to be pretty great for Jason Tatum. Next up is the wonderful Galaxy Opal Glenn Robinson, who is a jump shot 29 player, which is one of the fastest releases like in the game. It's just, like, I'm telling you, you get jump shot 29 and then throw it on, you know, very quick timing, and my oh my, is it fast, man. It's kind of wild seeing it go that fast, to be honest, but you know, either way, it's actually pretty great. It's one of those jumpers that you kind of have to get used to being so fast, but I think once you do that, you're going to be great. And if you look at Glenn Robinson, his shooting, obviously, badges and stats are absolutely insane, but his defense is actually out of this world as well. A little bit leaning towards the perimeter, but I think all around is actually super solid. It could be a pretty fun and great all-around card. Next up is just the taller version of that with Dark Matter Chris Bosh, who is just another jump shot 29, a very quick player, but is more suited to be like a back-to-the-basket big kind of guy, more suited to be a center than maybe this Glenn Robinson is, which still isn't bad. And last but not least, into our Baby Demons tier, we do have the wonderful Andre Karolinko, who is a nice little base 98 kind of card, which is always going to be great, and it's on quick. Plus, as you would expect with Andre Karolinko, you have that absolutely just insane defense all around that just makes him an absolute god. I love this Andre Karolinko, and I will love him every single time we get a new card. Whenever we get a Dark Matter or like an Invincible maybe, who knows, I'm probably going to be one of the first people to try to pick him up and get a gameplay with that, I promise. And last but not least, we're starting off our Demon tier, which starts off with the wonderful, the beautiful Tony Kukoc, who I absolutely love, man. Ray Allen base, a 6'10" guy who can cheese, shifty dribble style, curry slide, all of that. And it is amazing, man. I absolutely love myself a little bit of cheese with Tony Kukoc, and I just think there's nothing that he really does wrong. His defense all around is pretty good, even like in the paint against some of those bigger guys. And just his ability to cheese up with that Ray Allen base is always amazing, always welcome and loved. I can't get enough of some Tony Kukoc. Next up is Dark Matter Thon Maker, who is obviously a wonderful, another one of those 7-foot small forwards, which is always going to be great. That's jump shot 49, or that Joel Embiid jumper, which again is always going to be great. And it's just an all-around fun, great card. Defense is crazy. When you have a long wingspan and you're tall like that, you're always going to feel better than maybe some other cards. He's like a step up from Poku if you needed one, which is always going to be great. Next up is one of my favorite cards in the game, in the wonderful Galaxy Opal Rudy Gay, who has that Rudy Gay base, mainly why I'm a huge fan of him, and it's just absolutely amazing. Rudy Gay is one of those super consistent, fun, easy-to-time jumpers every single time you have it, so you always love to see it. Plus, he has the curry slide, and sadly the Pro 4 behind the back, but everything else about him is just absolutely amazing, and I really, really love seeing me some Rudy Gay every time he drops, because I love that jumper, man. Next up is like your alternative to Rudy Gay if you were looking for one. I don't know why you'd need one, but he's there if you need him. And it is Galaxy Opal Kyle Kuzma, who has jump shot 80, the curry slide, and the Pro 3. where Rudy Gay has a little bit more of a offensive ability. Kyle Kuzma has a little bit more defense. So it's kind of like a pick your poison, or depending on what jumper you like. Because jump shot 80 is still actually a pretty good jumper as well, which is always pretty nice. And next up is the beautiful, the wonderful Galaxy Opal Jonathan Isaac, 6'11", with one of the just best all-around games. On current gen, he has I think the biggest green window jumper in the game, which is always gonna be great and fun to have. And he's 6'11", massive wingspan. The defense on this Jonathan Isaac is just crazy. He literally controls the entire game because of how great his defense is. And then you bring him on the offensive end, and he just shoots every single three, and it's all green and cash money. Oh, it's crazy. Next up is Galaxy Opal Danny Ferry, who is just a better version of AK-47 because he's got base 98 on very quick, which is awesome. One of the faster jumpers in the game, and it makes Danny Ferry just amazing all around because he's a 6'10" guy that carries slide and cheese, which is great. And last but not least is the wonderful, the beautiful Boris Diaw, who has that great Delino Gallinari base, absolutely green lights. 3 and D is all amazing. He can still finish, and I think the fact that Boris Diaw is juiced up just to be an interior and perimeter threat makes him one of those better power forwards in the game. So that's where we got it for the power forwards tier list. Let me know what you think about it down in the comment section below. What's your favorite power forward to run in the game right now, or person running the power forward? I know a lot of double big lineups are happening. For me personally, I'm using Bill Russell as my power forward, so that kind of shows you. But it's all around great and still pretty fun. So let me know what you like at the power forward. Subscribe if you are new to the channel, and hope you have a great rest of your day. And I will see y'all in the next video.